Hello and welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hey everyone, we're really glad you're here today.
We sure are, and we're excited to have our friend Chrissy here on the call. Hey, Chrissy.
Hello, hello.
So today we are going to be talking about publishing your content. This is a follow-up to what we've been working on the last few weeks. But I wanted to just take a quick moment for those of us who are interested in getting a website done, completed, beautiful, finished, out of the way, right? If you want to remove that hurdle or if you want to improve the thing that you may have already put in place, you're going to want to listen to our friend here. And if you haven't met Chrissy before, Chrissy has worked with us for years creating incredible content along with her amazing design-centric sister Claire, creating really great design resources that work with the AttractWell system, right? So if you want templates, you want guidance, these are incredible people to follow. And Chrissy's got a really cool thing to share. So tell us what you
Yes,
got.
absolutely. So I wanted to talk about the one-page website in a day. So I know all of you probably have these grandiose dreams of or are working on this multi-page, 7 to 10 page website. And maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed, a little stuck, like, when am I going to have this done? I want to encourage you to start with a one pager, to get your website set up, to be able to start sharing. How many of you would feel more confident if you had your website set up? It looked professional, the messaging was on point. How many of you would it allow you to share your business more? I think probably, or we'll hopefully see some yeses in the chat. But I want to encourage you not to wait to hit publish and launch until you have multiple pages. Let's start with the one pager. So yes, it would help so much. Absolutely. So the one page website in a day is a twofold, where if you're feeling like you're stuck on copy and you don't have time to become a copywriter and you don't have the funds to hire a copywriter, we have crafted some incredible AI prompts. I'm calling it our magic AI website writer. So the prompts that we have developed, I've been using AI for a long time. I mean, not too long, it's newer. But since it's been out to really help craft incredible copy and messages. So it's a combined copy prompt with you answering a few questions about your business, and then you copy and paste it into AI, whether it's ChatGPT or Claude or whichever one you prefer, and it will auto-generate the copy for your website in seconds. It's so incredible. So forget about writer's block or like, where do I start? What do I say? What order do I put it in? It's prompted to do all of that for you. And then on the flip side of that, once you have your copy, you have to build the page and design it. Well, we've already built the page, we've already designed the page, and literally click of a button, it uploads into your AttractWell account, designed to follow the copy that AI spit out. So you'll copy and paste your text in there, update your pictures and your colors, and you're almost ready to hit launch if you want to add your domain or whatnot, a few little things, and you'll be ready to go. If you don't have brand colors, we've crafted 50 color palettes, color swatches that you can just like, ooh, I like this for now, I'm going to use it. And it's designed to have your website grow with you. So the mini about section is there for now. When you then later have a more extensive about page, you can click over to learn, read my story, and it will go over there. Or the offers and services section will give them a little information to either book that call with you or discover more. Later, when you have that full sales page, you can click it over to the sales page. So it's designed to be the best starter for you to help you build that confidence, get your business out there, start sharing, but allows you to grow and expand beyond that. And then in addition to those resources, we are hosting a 4-hour live working session on February 13th. If you have jumped in and grabbed the resources before then, you can come and attend this. We did one in January and people thought it was so helpful. Just blocking the time off and holding them accountable to working on their website was one thing, but getting the feedback on the copy, we'll give feedback. We'll work through some design things and make sure you know exactly what you're doing. And some people even got it done on the workshop that they came to participate in. So we're super excited about this and just excited about offering it to you and offering this workshop along with it.
Awesome. Yeah, so you guys, Greg put the link here in the chat. If you would like to go learn about this, highly recommend that you do. The fact that you're getting all of these resources for the low price that's being offered here, plus a 4 hour workshop to get like live feedback. It's kind of a no-brainer. AttractWell.com/one page, all one word. Go check that out. You will not regret it. They do amazing work. We love them so much. So thank you so much for coming on, Chrissy, and I hope you guys take advantage of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Maria Lapita sent us, just the host and panelists, a message, and she said, I'm part of Christine Claire's work group and I'm loving it. I cannot wait for the workshop next week. So thank you, Maria Lapita. I can't wait to see you there. Thanks so much,
Fantastic.
Greg and Ashley. We'll see you later.
All right. Thanks for coming out, Chrissy.
Of course.
All right, you guys, let's get into it. Greg and I are going to get out a video and we are going to get into today's content. So again, we're following up on last week and a couple weeks prior to that, where we began with using a swipe file. I created a swipe file for you guys to use on Trello, a free resource, free tool. You can use a free Trello account to do it, to capture your ideas and then plan your content. Now, last week, we walked through what it looks like to use Write with AI and AttractWell to plan out your month worth of content, or maybe even a quarter if you're wanting to work ahead and be even more efficient. Today, I'm going to show you how we can go and publish our content in just a few quick minutes because we've done most of the work already. So if you have questions, please feel free to add those to the Q&A. And if you're watching this as a recording, head over to attractwell.com/office hours to join us on one of our upcoming calls. We do these every Thursday at 2 p.m. US Eastern Time. If you'd like to work together, as two folks have signed up to do here today, we got a packed call. You can go to attractwell.com/work review. This is an opportunity to schedule times, set aside time on these live calls. So we actually dedicate the second half of these calls to working together with you on whatever you need help with. And then, of course, you can head over to attractwell.com/concierge if you would like to have somebody just handle some of this work for you. That is also an option. All right, so today let's talk about the tools that we are going to use. We'll be using Write with AI in AttractWell to generate our email and social media copy. In Trello, we are going to be using the content planner that we have created previously, that is a dual content planner and swipe file. And then we'll be using AttractWell to publish and schedule your blog posts as well as your emails that will go out to promote those blog posts. And then we will use Canva if you haven't done so already. I did go over this last week. That was sort of the last step that I was on. So I have everything ready in the Trello board and good to go. So we'll be adding those graphics to our blog posts, and we will be using Canva today to create some social media posts as well. So if you want to catch up on this, if you want to, go dive into what we're referencing, I do have two trainings here. So how to create and use a swipe file is the first one. And then 1 month of content planning is the one that directly precedes this. So we are following up on what we learned in this one right here, basically picking up where we left off. So the first thing we're going to do, by the way, there is a checklist here. So know that, if you're watching me following along here, we do have a separate checklist that I have created for you to be able to use on an ongoing basis to follow this system on a monthly or quarterly basis. So the first step here is to actually take our content that's in our Trello board and get it into AttractWell. So to do that, we will create a new blog post, and we will be doing a copy paste job because we already have this content done. We used Write with AI to get it done, right? So we'll be pasting the title, the blog body content. We'll be formatting the blog body content, and I'll show you what this looks like in just a second. And then we will, again, make sure that we are modifying the design, formatting this body section so that the eye flows easily, and that we are placing our keywords and titles in heading 1 and heading 2 settings. And then, of course, finally, we will need to add a link for our call to action. So for you, that might be offering a consult. It might be your lead magnet. So linking to your landing page might be the thing that we choose to do here as well. So real quick, before we go over into AttractWell and I show you how to set this up, I'm going to show you where all of this is. So this is our Trello board. Again, make sure that you check out our previous training on this. But here's my drafts in progress. This is where we left off last week. So I have these, all of these blog posts prepared. So this is the first one. I've got a title. I've got all of the blog body here. I've got that all set up and good to go. And then I also have an excerpt here as well as an image, right? So here's my image right here. It's already connected to the card. And I have completed this step for all of the blog posts I'll be publishing in the month of March, including the dates that I plan to have them scheduled to publish. So this is what we completed in last week's training. So you want to make sure that you are up to this point with your content before we proceed, right? So if you're ready to proceed, then here's what we're going to do. All right, Tracy, I believe I actually, if you go into last week's checklist, which you can find right here in the Success Academy under live training and replays, this is what we worked on last week, 1 month of content planning. This is the checklist. I actually provide an AI prompt for you to use. I recommend using just a couple of sentences and not a lengthy excerpt because it's going to be pulling double duty for you as both meta content for your blog as well as for the excerpt itself. All right, so in AttractWell, what we're going to do is come over here to blog posts. And what I'm going to do is I've got Trello open. I actually have the Trello app open on my device. So I'm going to be working with that. All right. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and write my post. So I'm creating a new post. And I'm going to begin with my first blog post draft in Trello. And as you saw, I've got everything there. And this is just copying and pasting. So I'm going to go in. And again, not able to show this to you necessarily here, the whole screen. That would be a little bit difficult to follow visually, but let me just copy and paste this. This is all on my Trello card that I just showed you. All right, here we go. I'm going to use paste plain text, which is right here under more text, paste plain text, paste into document. Okay, now this is what I mean when we are applying the headers. So this I'm going to use a heading 2. And then for these others, I'm going to use a heading 1. And it is adding an additional line break that I don't necessarily want. So I am going to go in and delete that additional one. So here, again, heading 1. And there are a couple of reasons why we do this. Number 1, where we're saying I have 5 things, it's really helpful for people who are trying to get the answers to what those 5 things are. It's satisfying for them to be able to scroll through and find them very easily. If they can't find what they're looking for within a couple of seconds, they're leaving, right? So we want to make it very easy for people to navigate. So, and the other reason that we want to do this very importantly is for SEO. Now we have other trainings on SEO. You don't want to don't want to get too far into that here today. But the important thing for you to know is that what the search engines are looking for in terms of determining whether or not your content is something that they should be recommending to people who are searching has a lot to do with how you have your content organized. So if the key words of what you're talking about, like hydration or superfoods, if these are in this heading 1 format, it's easy for the search engines to see that these are the topics of this post, right? So not just about this, but that you're going to be talking about these things. And that's important for the search engines to see. So you can see here, I've got my headings. And I'm not going to make this a heading 1. I'm going to make this like a heading 2 because that's not conclusion and introduction. They're not really necessary. And I don't want them to necessarily be a feature that the search engines are looking for. So let me find, here we go. Here's where my call to action is supposed to be. So to book a consultation or learn more about how I can support your wellness journey, click here is what I'm going to say. So I'm going to remove this and I am going to insert a link and I'm going to find my wellness consult. I think I might be offering here. Let me see. Not here. I'm just going to search through and find it. Discovery call. Here we go. Discovery call landing page. So I'm going to change this to click here. insert. And I'm also going to make that a button to draw the eye there. So to book a consultation or learn more about how I can support your wellness journey, click here, contact me directly. And here I will also say here, and I'll make this a link as well, except I'm going to go #contact if they want to just send a general message to me. And I'll break that up. Okay, so this is the first thing that we needed to do, right? So let's just go double check where we're at in this process here. Right? So we created a new blog post, we've pasted the title and the body, and we have formatted it. We have ensured readability with short paragraphs, and we've added a link for our call to action. All right, so that's good. What do we do next? We need to upload our featured image using that Canva graphic that we made that's in Trello. We need to enable the excerpt and then paste the pre-written excerpt into the excerpt section. So let me just go give you a quick reminder of where that is in Trello. So here is our Trello card that we're working on. I actually just copied all of this information from the description. There's our title, and this is our image. So let me actually scroll down here, and I'm going to download this image to my device. And then let me grab my excerpt, which I put down here in the comments. So here's my excerpt. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to head back over to AttractWell to finish this up. All right, so I'm going to scroll down here and choose my file that's in my downloads. Here it is. And I'm also going to go ahead and apply my blog categories. So you should really only have a handful of these that represent the keywords you're aiming for. Think like your top level content silos and, maybe a maximum of 3 to 5 sort of subcategory keywords that you might be aiming for. That this would fall into. So I know for this particular example, this is busy mom. This is holistic. How about holistic education? Perfect. I already have that in here. I am going to go ahead as well, and I know that this isn't in the step that we're in, but it's right here. So let's just go ahead and get it out of the way. If we go and we look at this on the Trello board, this is going to be published on March 3rd. So I'll come back over here and I'm going to set this up to publish on March 3rd. And I'll make that at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And I'm going to have an email go out at the same time. We'll do that in the next step. So down here under the comments, excerpt, and search engine options, we're going to enable the excerpt. And I'm going to paste plain text. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Or is it? Hold on. No, that's not. Here we go. Perfect. That is my device acting crazy. All right, so this is our excerpt. Quick couple of sentences to encourage people to click and open. I'm going to also pop this into the meta description as well because it's nice and short and it hits on a lot of the keywords that I'm talking about here. All right, so we have completed those steps. We're almost done. So we've enabled our excerpt, we've pasted and put our excerpt in. We have applied our tags and we have scheduled our post. So we actually have completed this. So what we do now is we go ahead and, oops, let me get back to my AttractWell screen here. So I'm going to schedule post. All right, so this is it. This is complete. So we do have some additional trainings if you're wondering about the additional fields here. So like right down here, I do want to allow comments. Comments are great for blog traffic and things like that. The excerpt is important because when you are viewing your blog digest on your website, you don't want them to see your entire blog post as they're scrolling through to see what else they might want to read. So this is going to just give them a quick blurb. It's going to show this image to them. And then finally, this down here, this meta description, I am just double purposing this because a meta description, this is the thing that's going to show up if I go to search for, let's see, wellness tips for busy moms. Do you see this stuff right here? This is a meta description. So it's really important that obviously the title of your blog post speaks to what someone is looking for, what they're searching for, but what's here is going to help support them actually clicking, right? So that's why I filled that out right here. All right, so this is done. That one's published or scheduled to publish rather. And so now we can just repeat, right? And this is going to be really simple and straightforward. You're going to repeat those steps that I just showed you, right? So you're going to repeat that for all four. I'm going to, just for the sake of time here, stick with one today. So we're going to do this for all of the posts that we have planned. Now, the next thing we're going to do is to create our copy to share our posts. So we're going to use Write with AI and AttractWell to generate email copy to share our post, and then schedule an email broadcast out to our subscribers that links to this post, and then repeat that for all of the posts that are scheduled. So let's come over here. And what I'm going to do is go to my dashboard. Excuse me. I am going to send an email, one message to my general mailing list. And I'm going to write my email here. And I'm going to use Write with AI. That's this little magic wand right here. So I am sending a, let's see, I just published a blog post titled, and I'm going to copy this and paste it from my Trello board that I have open. I would like to promote this post in an email to my list. Don't give away all of its contents, but provide enough curiosity to get people to click the link and read. Okay, and I will paste a majority of the post. It's not going to allow me to paste the entire post, but it's fine. So this is the post. Excuse me. I'm going to copy again from my board. And paste. We'll let Write with AI write this for me. I'm going to go ahead and add that to the editor. And it did paste below where I want it, so I'm just going to grab it, copy it, delete it, and then come up here and paste it. All right, so we already have a sign off. Great. Now this is the subject line. Copy, paste, and then delete. Contact first name tag is good to go. I do really prefer to not have paragraphs in emails. It's better to have things that are spread out and easy for the eye to follow down. It's better to have somebody scroll than to have them try to read a chunky paragraph. All right, so here we go. So here's click here to read the full article and start implementing these hacks today. So what we do need to do is grab our link to that blog post. Now, ideally, I will have, if once I published all four of those blog posts, maybe I put them into my Trello board or into a notes app or something like this so that I can reference them for this next step. That would be ideal. But I'm going to go right here and just click copy link because this is the one that I am publishing. So click here. I'm going to add a link. Excellent. And I'm going to schedule this again for the same day that the other one is scheduled, and that's March 3rd at 9 a.m. Right? So I'm going to schedule that to my 5 contacts that are on my general mailing list. Start doing this even if you only have yourself on your general mailing list. This is a really important exercise to engage in for the lifeblood of your business long term. So it's a good habit to get into. So again, we're going to repeat that step, right? So all 5 blog posts for the month of March, if you're posting on what Tuesdays, because there's 5 Tuesdays of this March, or you're doing this 4 times, however that looks like. You're publishing a blog post a week and you're scheduling an email to go out to your subscribers, right? So I do have a prompt that is on the checklist. Be sure to use it if it's helpful to you. This is where we are asking it to create a post for us, right? Now, the final thing that we're going to do is generate our social post copy to share our posts. Now, this is going to be a little bit more of a project that we'll be putting into Trello with our ideas, right? So we're going to add that to our Trello board. That's going to be one card per post. And then we're going to create and attach graphics from Canva if desired for each post, and then schedule social media posts for the same week your blog post is scheduled and repeat. So I'm going to walk you through that real quick. It's going to be pretty straightforward and simple. And I'm going to actually use Write with AI in AttractWell to do this. All right, so I'm going to create at least one social post per blog post, right? So I'm going to go here into, into Write with AI and AttractWell. And I'm going to grab my title for my blog post here. I'm going to copy it and come over here and say, I am publishing a blog post this week titled, paste, come up with social media copy to share this post on Facebook. Click write. Excellent. So I'm going to go and grab this. I'm going to copy to clipboard, and then I'm going to come over to Trello, and I'm going to repeat this for like 4 or 5 different times, right? Depending on how many blog posts you have. So what I'll do here is I will go to social media posts. These are my ideas that I'm generating. So I'm going to create a card from the social media post template. And this one is going to be, let's see, 5 natural hacks to boost your family's, energy levels. I'm going to go ahead and paste that copy that I was provided here. Excellent. And then finally, what I'm going to do is go over to Canva and create my graphics. Now, I would ideally, again, if we're working in order here, like I wouldn't go straight over to Canva right now. What I would do is just repeat this process. I'm going to go to my next one and grab my title here, go back over to AttractWell and go ahead and get copy for that as well, because it's easier to create your posts in Canva all at the same time, your images in Canva. So I'm going to paste that here and go ahead and get my copy and put that back over here into Trello. So I'm copying from clipboard in AttractWell, and I'm going to come over here and again, create a new card. Right, so again, this is pertaining to the blog post. There we go. So again, I want you to do this for all of your blog posts that you're publishing first. Now, once you've got them all done, let's put them over here in our drafts in progress. Oh, and by the way, this one's already scheduled and published. I can move him over here. And let's just assume that I've done this for all of these at this point. And there are checklists on these cards, by the way. So I'm gonna move my social post that I'm now working on over here. Again, you should have 4 or 5 of these, depending on how often you are creating these. Now, once you have these, we're going to go to Canva. We're going to create some graphics for them. And again, this really simple process. Let's go into Canva here. And I'm going to type in Facebook post. And here's a Facebook post landscape. Here's some nice templates we could use. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to grab this one here. Why not? Beautiful. And it's got a nice little image on it too. So maybe I want to maybe swap this out for one of my brand colors. Maybe I want to swap this out for my brand font. Let me see. There's my brand font. I can go ahead and do that for these others as well. And here I can maybe put a quote from my my social post or from my blog post rather. I could also maybe use in the background here an image that I've used recently, which I believe for this particular one is this one right here. So I'm going to add this. Actually, here, what I'm going to do here is swap that out with this. Yes, there we go. now, because now it's going to look very similar when they click and they go to my website. So I'm going to call this just like my, um, here we go, non-toxic products is the name. Um, every mom should know about. Right? So again, in this case, you're going to want to modify to your liking, make this work for you. But then what you get to do here is you could duplicate this, right? Or you want to keep things interesting on social media, go ahead and add another, right? So let's go find another one that we like. Maybe I like this one. I'm going to go back again to my elements here. Let me find another image that I used recently that I used for the actual blog post. Um, I don't love how that one looks here. Maybe I'll use that for, no, this one. There we go. I love that. So here we can actually, again, use this one for the blog post that this corresponds to, swap the title out here, right? And then you would put this into the queue for your Facebook images, right? So I'm going to download these again, assuming that you have created all of your blog posts and you've created all of your social posts in Trello. I'm going to save all of these as images. And then I'm going to go back over to Trello. And I will add these to my social postcards. And I am just going to just drop these right on top, right? And so this means that we now have these good to go. We want to make sure that we add a date to these, right? So if we remember that we're publishing on a weekly basis in March. So here we go, save. And then once you have that scheduled to post, you can check that off, right? You also, of course, have the option if you prefer to work with social media platforms as a personal profile, it's usually more advantageous for you to be posting in real time. You may just keep these here and then copy and paste from these to go and post in real time as opposed to scheduling them for the future. But you have all this copy that's ready. You can use the content calendar feature in Canva as well to schedule these posts to go out if that's a feature that you like to use. All right, so I do have a prompt. Again, this is in your checklist for asking right with AI to create copy for those social posts. Now, the final thing, of course, we want to make sure that we've done just our wrap up here. Make sure that you've got all 4 of your blog posts in AttractWell and that they have their title, you've formatted their body content, and you've added your featured image and your excerpt, right? And then, of course, apply those category tags and schedule for post. Then we want to make sure that we have our copy saved for our email broadcasts and those social media posts that you'll be sending out that are regarding specifically these blog posts, right? And then make sure that we're double checking the publication dates in that content calendar in Trello, right? Because if we want to post about our blog post that we just released, we want to make sure that that social post is going out that day or maybe the day after, that the email is going out that day, and so on, right? So remember to follow along with this checklist. It's got everything that you need in order, including links to the previous trainings where you can get the Trello content calendar and so on. Let me see if we have any questions here. And of course, we do also have some folks signed up for live reviews, so we'll be getting into that here in just a moment as well. Okay, what does the header for your blog page look like? Does one place a picture like the size of a Facebook banner? Yeah, so let's go take a look at that real quick. We do have a blog branding training in our Success Academy. If you type in blog up here, I believe you'll find it. But real quick, I can actually show you how that's set up. When you're in the blog post where it says manage post, you go into settings. And you have a couple of options here under personalization. I am actually using a very large image here, and the preset for this image is actually called blog banner in Canva, and it creates a really nice large image. So if we actually go and we view the blog, here, I'll go view the post. All right, so this is this is the blog banner image, so it's quite large. You don't have to have it be this big. It could be a lot simpler than this. And so you can actually see in this case, if you don't have, well, this is actually the link to the post itself. But if we just go to the blog digest, if you have this posted, you'll see that there's an excerpt here, and you've got the nice image, you've got the title, right? And because we're working with excerpts, we're able to have them, scroll through and see everything as opposed to like otherwise the entire body of the blog post would show up right here. But yeah, this is going to show up above if you have this set up in your blog settings. It's going to show up on the blog digest page and on the individual post pages as well. Oops. Okay. So I think, Tracy, shoot me an email, or I'll reach out to you. That's something I think that we can probably address in a one-on-one, really quickly, on a call. Okay, so Jeanette asked, getting the blog banner. So what I did here, and again, there is a training on this. Highly recommend that you check that out. But essentially what you're doing is in the settings, under personalization, we've got this big image right here. All I did to create this, here, I'll just delete it and show you, is I went to insert image. I added a design from Canva and I typed in blog banner because that's really, I think, the largest preset that they have. And then you just go in and you go to elements and then, make whatever it is that you want to make. So this would be maybe a pasture, find some kind of pastoral, beautiful thing. Here, maybe I'm from Montana. There we go. Gorgeous. Love it. I'm going to add this as the background, send it to AttractWell. And then once that's there, that's going to show up there as the background image. So that's how I did it. You also can upload it directly if you want to work in Canva separately, like I've done here. And when I need to make more than one image for something, I'll often open up Canva and do this so that I'm creating multiple things in the same document. And it just makes life a little easier because then you can, copy elements, you can keep the colors congruent. You don't have to go repeat the process in a way that will slow you down. But here you go. This is what that would look like if you take that blog banner and you put it in here. Okay, so we have a couple live reviews to get into here today. Really thrilled to chat with you guys about this. If this is new to you, like Denny, this is not something most of us expect going into creating a business that lives online. I think especially if you were in business prior to the internet, especially the way that we get found, the way that we influence people toward reaching out to us is very, very different from the old school brick and mortar ways of reaching people. The psychology is fundamentally different. And so it's really important. And actually, you know what? Let me show you something real quick. It's something I've been working on. Okay. This is the big picture of how all of this works. So if this is confusing or overwhelming, I want you to kind of zoom out and look at this. This is your funnel, right? Assuming that you are booking people on calls. Now, what we're doing is creating a marketing funnel. This is a funnel as well, but like this is a whole picture. And the goal here is to get traffic, eyeballs to your content where people can say, oh, wow, I like what this person has to say, right? And when they do, and you say, hey, by the way, I've got this call you could hop on, or I've got this PDF you could download, right? What we're doing is we are sending people there. Typically, if you're on social media and you're just like, hey, I've got a free thing, come get it. Hey, I've got a free thing, come get it. People aren't really going to pay attention most of the time, right? But if you pay it forward with valuable content that's relevant to them, in the form, typically of longer form content. If you're creating video or podcast, that would be layered over these blog posts. Everything's going to live on a blog post in AttractWell, even if you're doing video or podcast. Your social posts promote it. Your email broadcast, the people who have already opted into your list via something like this, they're getting shown this stuff. And it's just going to provide people with a more automated way of getting just a little closer, right? Getting a little bit closer to saying yes to whatever that next step is with you. And the social posts really serve as your presence and as a way to get people engaged and initially curious and then move them toward these points where they can convert, right? So you might have engagement posts, which are over here. And this is just the stuff that gets people paying attention on your social profiles, right? But then when they see those social posts, the next time you make a post about your blog post or your latest podcast episode or your YouTube video or what have you, you're linking to your website. And when they read that post, somewhere in the post, there needs to be a call to action that says, take advantage of this free thing I'm offering you. This could be a call with you. This can be the lead magnet that you're offering. This is your landing page, right? We're trying to send them there. So every piece of content we create, and I mean long form content, YouTube videos, podcasts, blog posts, all of that's going to go and point to the place where we want them to opt in, right? And we're not going to get all of them, but what matters is that we get some. And once we do, we've got the opportunity to get them on a call with us and turn them into our client, right? And if they aren't that yet, that's fine. They're still going to get engaged on social media. And the next time you put a blog post out there that's interesting to them, they're going to click on it. And then they're eventually going to go ahead and say yes to what you're offering for free on those blog posts, right? And also, if you want to do live events, you would be able to do that here as well. Promoting those live events, live events allow people to move into your funnel here as well. I hope that this makes sense. I'll be sure to provide maybe a PDF version of that flow. But yeah, all of this is stuff that you get to do with AttractWell, and the system that you've been learning here using this Trello board is what allows you to do all of this in a way that's not overwhelming, right? Because you can say, all right, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to get all of this figured out for the month of April, right? I mean, we're in February right now. You could go ahead and do March, but like, take a breather, right? It might take, I don't know how busy your life is. If your life is busy, go ahead and plan April and February and don't worry about March yet. But when you're doing it, you start feeling better about this flow. Consider doing this for an entire quarter at a time, because it takes you, I promise you, a fraction of the time to come up with blog post copy, to come up with Canva images, and all of these separate steps that need to be done. It takes a fraction of the time to do them if you do all of the same kind at once, right? So get all of the titles done at once, put them into Trello. Get all of the copy done at once, put those into Trello on their cards. Get all the excerpts done at once, put those into Trello on their cards, right? Get all the Canva images done at once for all of the ones that you're planning, put those on, like you've got a catchment system, right, in Trello. And then when you're ready, when you have all the elements in place, which is what we covered last week, you come over to AttractWell, paste, boom, 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 scheduled, emails, boom, 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 scheduled, right? And then you can get off to working on your social posts, which you will see is a more voluminous exercise, right? Because we do have to do a bit more on social to keep engagement. But again, if you're sitting down and you're saying, all right, I need to create 4 engagement posts, you can prompt AI to help you do that, right? You've got 4 or 5 different ideas and you don't have to do it all right now. You put them into your Trello board, right? You're taking the information, you're storing it in a place where it's organized. And then when it's time to take the next step, then you've got everything in one place and it's ready to go, right? I think that the way that this starts to feel overwhelming and difficult is that you probably don't know how to use AttractWell perfectly for this purpose, right? And so there's one part of your brain that needs to learn that. And then you probably don't necessarily have like a native ability, excuse me, to create and organize copy, creative stuff to promote what you're doing, right? And so you're trying to do both of these things at the same time, and that is a recipe for burnout of your brain, right? So if we separate these activities and we add volume, right? So instead of doing, create the copy, create the image, put it in here, do the email, do the social post, and then repeat that, that's going to take you 10 times more time than creating the copy for 5 posts, creating 5 images, uploading 5 blog posts to AttractWell, creating the 5 emails, and so on, right? Okay, so yeah, I'll be sure, just make sure you check out the replay. I'll put that PDF there in the description so you guys can reference that. Okay, all right, so we have a couple folks signed up here today. Michelle And who else is here? Georgia, Miss Michelle in Georgia. If you could please pop your hand up, uh, let me know that you're ready. I will bring you guys out to chat. All right. Hey, Georgia, how can we help? It looks like you're muted. You can
Oh,
unmute.
yes, I am. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, so a couple of things with my website. I know when I made the request, I put my website in there just in case you needed to take a peek at it. The functionality of certain parts of it, I wanted some help with.
Okay.
But since you're on blogs, I'll start with the blog.
Sure.
When I had an AttractWell person help me with my website initially, and the blog template that they recommended is the one I have in there.
Okay.
But what I'm noticing, I have three blogs showing on there now, and it's coming in. If you go on the main page, you'll scroll all the way down, and you'll see um, um, the blog comes up, shows up somewhere there. Keep going. There you go. And you see now, you see three. I wanted one, I don't know if I like that layout too much. That's one. And two, how would you see the subsequent blocks, the other ones that come after three?
Yeah. So we did a training on this a little while back. It's a pretty straightforward process. If we go to your pages, I believe this is your home page right
Uh-huh.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get all the way down here.
And I would
So
prefer, is there an option to have on the menu to have blog, right, where someone could just select the blog button?
absolutely, yeah, that's going to be right over here where we can go to menu and you've got home, about, services, Lady V store, contact us. We can also
Okay.
add blog here. So we'll call it blog.
Uh-huh.
And then maybe we'll drag that over,
Mm-hmm.
maybe after about.
Okay.
And then now, yeah, then people can go straight there.
Am I supposed to be tested? I'm just coming to work, but I
All
don't
right.
know just the end.
So this here is actually not utilizing our built-in feature for blog posts. So
Mm-hmm.
what you would want to do here, we have a few options, right? So you've got like a 3-row option that looks
Mm-hmm.
like that. You've got a
Mm-hmm.
4-column, 3-column, 2-column. These are all mobile responsive and built in. And what they're
Okay.
going to do is they're going to take whatever your latest blog post image is. Uh, so the title and the image that's there and the
Uh-huh.
link, and it's going to automatically populate it. So what
Okay.
you'll do you have a preference, 2, 3, 4, or a list
I like the list.
like this? Okay. So this is essentially what that's going to look like. And we can actually see the preview if we scroll down here. So yeah, it'll look like this.
Okay. Well,
Now it is going to
the other
be
way, it was shorter. The blog was shorter. Like you could just see I don't even know if you could see the excerpt in the other. Yeah,
right.
that
Yeah.
layout.
So this layout is going to show the excerpt, right? So if you
Okay.
and the excerpt you can make a bit shorter as well, right? So
Uh-huh.
if you actually go into your blog posts and you shorten your excerpts to maybe a couple of sentences,
Uh-huh.
I think your excerpts might be quite long. Yes. Oh
Okay.
my. Yeah, that's very long. Yeah. So I would shorten this to, maybe,
Just the
something
top.
that
Yeah.
short. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, you might want to reword it. Don't just go with the top, but like that length is good,
Right.
right? But
Okay.
use AI to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit and make sure that people who are reading it are compelled to click and open, right? So that way, when someone is exploring your blog, they're going to be able to see the image, and then they'll see a brief excerpt here,
Prefect.
and then they're not going to be
Yes.
getting quite as much. And then on this page, uh, they would only be getting a brief sentence or two, whatever that is, right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the other option that we could look at here real quick as well is if we were to go, let's just say 4, since you already have, I think, the titles, right?
Uh-huh.
The titles are on the images themselves, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what I would do here is I would go in with a something like this, if you were going to use this setting, I would actually go in and just delete the title because it's going to be
Okay.
hyperlinking the image anyway.
Okay.
And
Accept that.
and I don't think you necessarily need a button either because the image is going to kind of serve as a button.
Okay.
So this would work well in this way. So let me click done here and you could see what that looks like.
Okay.
And then if you wanted to show more than the four, then we could do that as well. See, here's an option.
Okay. I like the 4. Yeah. I
Okay,
like it.
yes. So let's, I'm going to delete this new one here. But then here's what we can do after we get this one done. I'm going to duplicate this section and
Mhm.
then, oops. All right, if we go and just get rid of this stuff here, I'm going to go into the code and I'm going to get rid of this additional break here and see if that helps us at all. Oops, nope, don't do that. Okay, so nope. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that as is. So what I want to do here is go blog 5, 6, 7, 8. And so you can actually repeat this process with these sections.
Okay.
And you know, you can decrease the padding and you kind of play around with the spacing here a little bit so that these are closer together. But then what you'll see, and you can, you know, again, duplicate that section once it looks the way you would like for it to. And then you're going to be able to see this one and then the next one and so on. Is that not?
Okay.
Why wouldn't that be showing up here? Huh. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I would do. And I actually did a training on this, and it's actually a short one, because it was from last year when we were at a conference and I did a recording. Let's say I was showing like how to display podcast episodes featuring
Okay.
blog. Yeah, this one right here. It's
So
brief.
featuring blog and podcast content. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
read that.
yeah. It's a really brief one.
Okay. All right. I can do that. All right. I'll look at that and see if I can
Yeah,
navigate it myself.
yeah, for sure. And it looks like Michelle wasn't able to show up. So if you have more questions,
I
happy to answer
do.
those. Yeah, go for it.
So, and now I can't even remember which, if it's my about, it's not the about. Part of it is not mobile. It needs to be adjusted to mobile. It
Okay.
has a parallax background,
Mhm.
but it's not about, or it could be about. Okay, let me get on my website and I'll tell you exactly which part of it that's not mobile adjusted, and I could not figure out at all how to fix it to scroll to comply with the mobile options.
Okay.
MACI. Okay, because it reads well, of course, on the desktop. I mean,
Hmm.
oh, come on. Oh, I think because you're in it, I can't see it, huh?
Oh, I don't want to mess anything up. No, I'm actually not on any of
Oh,
your pages.
actually,
So
yeah, I see
yeah.
it. I see it. All right,
Okay.
so let me hit the about section. Let's see. Nope, about is showing just fine on my mobile device. Services. Let's see. Yeah, with services, my lady on my parallax area is not showing right.
Okay. And that's mobile specifically?
Yeah, because it was,
Okay.
well, see, now it's showing right when you do that.
Hmm.
Now
Well,
look at it on the desktop and see how that looks. Yeah, so I guess then maybe it's desktop. You can't see
okay.
her head.
Yeah, yeah. So what you want to do in an instance like this is I'm going to click here the section background, and that is the top. So, huh. Let's take a look at that. So it might be
Mhm.
a better idea for this iteration to maybe move it around. So in this case, you see I'm moving the position up and down to the center here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think it's because of the size of the image and how much
Okay.
copy you have here. You see, there's so much scroll happening over the top of this.
Of
So,
her.
what I would probably recommend in a case like this is that if this
Mm-hmm.
is working well as you like it
Uh-huh.
on mobile or on tablet,
It
keep
is.
those. And then what I would do is make a duplicate section. Let's
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and make this not visible on large widescreen devices.
Okay.
And then this one, we're not going to make visible on mobile and tablet. And then what I would do here is I would probably consider creating another section that's only visible on desktop. Um,
Okay.
have her with maybe half of this information, and you'll see her better,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And then
Okay.
have another section that displays the rest of the information. And again, just make sure that it is similarly blocked from the smaller devices.
Okay. Okay. So if I do a new image, block it from mobile devices.
It would be another section, right? So what I would do is actually here in this body, because there's a whole lot of stuff that's here, is
Uh-huh.
I would probably take, let me see how big is this? Um, I might go copy this
Uh-huh.
and delete this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I would probably also put that book your consultation somewhere else. I forgot to remove that here. So yeah, so what we would then be able to do is to take that and put it into a new section, right? That again, we would only have, and obviously you can put whatever you want in the background here.
Mm-hmm. Or nothing.
Right. I mean, I would definitely have something very, you'll want to obviously change this, so something that's very visible where this call to
Mm-hmm.
action button is. But if you go and you look and remove from those, if we go and we look at the computer preview here now,
Mm-hmm.
it's not quite what we want. So what we can do is modify this just a bit more. So here we might center her. So again, I don't know what the resolution size is of this. Yeah, it might just be that we need to do something a little different with the image here.
So
Because
do a smaller image maybe.
or I think maybe like wider. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I think that could kind of help it to shrink in as well. Because it's
Okay.
what we're trying to format for is a widescreen device. So it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be advantageous to have wider
Wait.
photos.
Okay. Okay. But just make that just for the desktop area and
That's
turn
right.
and turn it off to mobile.
That's
And
right. Yeah, because if you like the way she's looking here, you like the
mm-hmm.
way that she is looking here, then then you're good with those. Just make sure that whatever extra modifications you make, that you're blocking out these two because this section is taken care of.
Kara. Okay. Awesome. And then I have the last thing. Under the store tab, well,
Okay.
you'll see Lady V. There it is.
Okay.
Now keep scrolling. Let me see if that's where the issue is. If you keep going, okay, see that we have our message. Keep
Mhm.
going. All things V and keep going. Oh, somehow then it looks like it's fixed because the our message area was showing up twice. Like I would scroll and
Ah,
it felt like it kept scrolling. So if you go back to
got
the
you.
if you go back to the main page again,
The home page or
yeah, homepage.
okay.
All right, let's see. Services, Lady V store. I guess it's showing, but prior to this, it was showing the entire store page was showing like it's a double thing, like it would go through and then go through again. And I do realize I have to cut down. I have to, oh, go back up, go back up, go back up. Right here, right here.
Uh-huh.
So this part about me, I don't want to be about me. What I want here is just maybe the top line of me, and then the person should be able to click
Hmm.
to see the other things about me.
Got
And
you. Yeah.
maybe like a media page or something. And for the life of
Yes.
me, I couldn't figure out how to do that.
Yeah, yeah. So let me find.
So I'm like, do I need a form? Do I need another page? What do I need to do to
Oh,
get
that's the
that?
services page. Okay, so we go to your home page,
Mm-hmm.
what you're gonna do, oh gosh, sure. Okay, so I'll go down here to the section you're talking about. So what I would do
There you go.
here is
Mm-hmm.
I would maybe move the schedule a consultation
Mm-hmm.
to a section of its own that lives
Right.
there. But what I would
Mm-hmm.
do here is
Mm-hmm.
I would maybe get this into write with AI and ask it to summarize this information into maybe 3 or 4 sentences with a clear call to action to click to read more,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
And then you can pop that in here, and then you would have a link. Let me just go ahead and do this.
Okay.
This is, all right, so summarize this information using the same voice provided. Into 3 to 4 sentences with a clear call to action to click to read more.
More.
It
Okay.
will redirect to my About Me page when they do. Okay, and here's the information. I'm going to click right.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Okay.
I'm going
Beautiful.
to copy that to clipboard, and then I'm going to
Uh-huh.
come over here and just select all of, ooh, no, select all of this. And then I'm going to paste it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to, let's look at our paragraph settings here. We need to align
Line.
left.
Left.
Where's my left? Here it is. Okay. Let's add some
Uh-huh.
space here.
Uh-huh.
All right, so click to learn. I'm gonna say click here.
Uh-huh.
All right, so
To
here
learn.
I'm gonna add a link, and I'm gonna click Command K or Control K to do this. It's just an easy shortcut, but this is also where you go insert link. I'm gonna grab About from right
Okay.
here,
Uh-huh.
and there's my click here, insert, and I think that should be good to
Okay.
go. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is how I would do that. And
Okay.
again, I would not keep the schedule a consultation here
Okay.
because it's kind of conflicting
Yeah,
with
I could
call
take
to
that
action.
out. Yes.
Yeah, so I'll just remove that. And
Yeah,
then
I'm
you
going
can
to take that out.
schedule a consultation is going to be something that you want to maybe place in its own section, nice
Uh-huh.
and big. And here, let's just draw the eye a little bit more effectively to this one.
So
Right?
when they click there, where will it
Mhm.
take them?
It's going to take them to your About page.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. See, that was easy. Well, you did it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
Do you
was
want me to save
easy.
that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad.
Now, what what I wanted to do, because
Mhm.
this is what I encountered this on a different page, because we are healthcare practitioners, and sometimes people often always want to know more about who is this, what makes you qualified. When I clicked on, like, it'll say learn more about Coach Ashley.
Uh-huh.
And when that screen opened up, it's like it's almost like a media page of that individual, graduated medical school, this, that, a
Mm-hmm.
member of this, that healthcare organization. It was just more meat about the doctor. And I thought
Mm-hmm.
that was really cool because in healthcare, that's just how we are.
Yeah.
How do, what makes you qualified to help me? And I understand you're a healthcare person, but
Yeah.
what's the rest? So that's
Yeah.
really where I want to, because I don't want all that on my page. I would really just rather them click and go somewhere else.
Okay. So yeah, you don't have to have all of that on your home page, but you should
Right.
absolutely have that on your About page. And because
Okay.
of the
Oh, I
nature,
see.
like, yeah, but because you aren't you aren't putting yourself out there as a clinician in the traditional sense,
Mm-hmm.
right? You are positioning yourself more effectively like a coach. And so
Mm-hmm.
that really does necessitate that you have more of a narrative approach to
Okay.
connecting with your person. And then
Okay.
absolutely, just to back stuff up, you could include in, the who we are,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a super brief Cliff's Notes about your qualifications. And then
Mm-hmm.
down at the bottom of the page, you could maybe have an education section that reads a little bit more like, like a resume or bio would in a traditional sense.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. I
Awesome.
I think you have all my things there, Ashley.
Oh, fantastic. Glad to hear it. Awesome, awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us today, Georgia. I'm excited to see your
Thank you
progress.
so much for your help.
Of course. All right. Thank you guys for sticking around. And thank you so much, Maria, for the feedback there. We are just so pleased to be able to be a part of your journey, changing people's lives, making the world better. It's always just such a light to be able to interact with you guys and see the work that you're doing. So thank you so much for being a part of this community and for doing your good work. We're here to help you. If there's something you'd like to learn more about, get in touch. If you haven't tried AttractWell yet, come on, give us a shot. There's actually a free way to get started with us if you haven't yet. There's a free trial, no credit card required now. That's something that you can do. You can also get a whole month for $1 if you would like. So again, thank you guys for being here. We'll be back same time next week. And till then, have a great week, everybody.